All right, Zeb, here's what's going to happen. I'll play a lick, you'll play a lick, we'll go back and forth a few times, and we'll let the viewers decide who's better.
Okay.
I'll go first.
All right.
Moving on.
1, 2, 3.
Good stuff, Zeb. We have my brother, Mr. Zeb Snyder, in the cabin today. Great to have you, man.
Good to be here, man.
I've wanted so long to have you in here. I can't wait for folks to see and learn more about your playing. And today we're talking all about bends. Bends is something that a lot of acoustic players want to do, but a whole lot of them don't know how to do it. But I know one person that does know how to do it, and that's Mr. Zeb Snyder. So we're gonna learn all about bends. We're gonna learn how to do them, how not to do them, and then we're also going to introduce some really cool licks. Up the neck, down the neck, that we can incorporate into our playing today. You ready to do that?
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're watching here on the website as a GoPick member, you have everything you need right here on this page. Just scroll down for the tabs and the rest of the video segments. But if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Comment below what you think about Jed's swanky pick in there. And you can come over to the website, banjobenclark.com, and watch the rest of this lesson and also learn more about Zeb and where you can find him. Let's jump right into some bends with Mr. Zeb Snyder. Now, it may seem obvious, but let's just go ahead and cover all of our bases. How would you define a bend, a guitar bend?
A bend, you're taking hold of the string and whatever fret you choose and displacing it by a certain amount. You can choose different distances that you push it away you can go a half step or a whole step in how much you change the pitch. You can even go further than that, but it gets tougher and tougher as you go. Most of the time, you'll see me bending up. Sometimes when I'm playing on lower strings, I'll reverse it as I run out of fingerboard coming this way.
I got you. So the direction of your bends will sometimes be determined by how much real estate you have on either side of the bend.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you find yourself bending certain strings more than others in your particular style?
Yes. So playing acoustic, I'm playing with medium gauge strings, just standard D'Addario EXP 17s. I have to, you have to work up your strength and your muscle memory on how to do it, but you also have to make good choices. So I normally bend up the neck a little ways, and especially for like whole step bends.
Right.
I also prefer the B string. Kind of depends on what you're doing. But, I'm not going to be bending a whole step from the 3rd fret on the B string.
Right.
Maybe on a random, in a frenzied jam session or something like that, I'll do it and regret it later. But for the most part, I'm not bending a whole step right there.
One thing I noticed, Zeb, is we were playing earlier upstairs in the cabin, and I was trying to copy your licks. And my strings did not want to bend as far as your strings wanted to bend. And I asked you about the strings, and it turns out that our strings are twins. So there's some other variable that causes my strings to not want to bend as far as yours. And I think that I've boiled it down to my fingers. And so, that's a good point. It requires strength. It requires toughness, right? And it requires practice and getting in shape to do that.
Yeah.
But there's ways to make it easier. Talk about how you use your fingers behind the finger that you're bending with to give you more leverage.
So most of the time, again, especially on acoustic guitar, I'm bending with my 3rd finger being the lead. So I'm putting my middle finger and my index finger behind it, and you're getting the pitch from that 3rd finger, and then you're getting assistance from the other ones.
So you're pushing up with all three of those fingers.
Yes.
And the ring finger's getting the glory.
That's right.
The other ones are just the minions.
That's right. Every now and then you might line up everything behind the little finger.
Yeah.
On a lick like that.
Right.
But I find myself using the third finger the most.
And all of the licks that we're going to learn in a little while, we're going to learn 3 or 4 really good ones. They just happen to work out where all of them bend with the ring finger.
That's right. Yep.
Of course, there's all kinds of different things we can do with that ring finger. So there's a lot of diversity there. Talk quickly about the pick strokes. I know that you are a pretty strict alternate picker, as am I, and as I encourage all you folks out there to be as well. I'm not going to just make it an ultimatum, but you think it's a good idea to pay attention to your pick strokes and talk about how the bends might affect your pick strokes.
Well, to me, alternate picking is all about the groove. You want the downstrokes to be the driving force. You want them to land on the downbeat. You want the upstrokes to give you speed on the other side of the downstroke and to handle things like syncopation. So when you interrupt the flow of alternate picking with anything like a slide, hammer-on, pull-off, a bend, you have to kind of take a look at what happened and see if there's like a missing pick stroke. Mm-hmm. If the slide or bend or pull-off took long enough, there might be a case where what you did with your left hand replaced what would have been a pick stroke.
So for instance, if we're going to do like this lick here, where we're going to pick all the notes. I want to do down, up, down, down, up, down. If we're going to turn that into a bend lick, which we will in just a moment, I'm going to grab these 2 notes with a bend now. Getting up there. And so that bend itself is what's taking the place of my upstroke. Is that what you're talking about?
That's right. You can hear the
So then
rhythm.
whenever you go up to that 10th fret there, that D note, that's going to be another downstroke because the bend just took the place of the up.
Right. And there may be some, that's a good general guideline. There may be random exceptions all the time. I think that may pop up in one of the example licks we do. But generally speaking, yeah, you can check to see how long that bend took and where the pick stroke went.
Awesome. Let's start with a lick down the neck, and we'll do that in the next little video segment here. But give us a preview of what we're going to be learning in that lick. Cool. So that's just a quick little. That can be the end of phrases, end of, or the beginning of stuff. We don't have to make it in the end. Cool. Well, let's look at that lick along with some other ones and really break down how these bends and these licks can be put in the context of our playing.